Whoever uses last is so dirty. It literally it feels really weird. Whoever last touched this one, super. Yeah, whoever uses last is just pretty sweaty. Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We have returned to our original home base. Yes, I know. We've returned. So, yeah, welcome back. Decided to just come back here, especially for Arm Day. Yeah, ain't really as much to say. Ain't much to say. Except we're here. We're obviously gonna go with a stairs again. We're gonna go 6 feet. It's really hot today. Or maybe the temperature inside this gym is weird. All I know is that outside really smells like shit. Like outside this gym it smells like shit. It smells really bad. And inside is trying its best to filter it out. Now I think about it, the inside still smells like shit. But it's not as bad as the first time I came here. The first time I came here it smelled like shit. And right now it still smells like shit. But it's not as bad as outside. Outside actually genuinely smells really bad. One thing though I noticed is that the home gym, the music's really loud. So it muffles our voice a lot more. Plus this place is larger and we should have a golden hour. So not bad. Yeah, the only thing is that this gym still smells like shit. It's not as bad as outside, but outside literally smells like shit. Something must be going on with the sewer. Yeah, it smells like shit. What's going on? I can't stop thinking about the smell. It smells so terrible. This is exactly why we left on Sunday. That's exactly why we left on Sunday, because it just smelled like shit. And it still smells like shit. Gonna die. I can't even focus on breathing because it smells so bad. No, it actually smells like shit. Like, what the fuck's going on? But it's arm day. Man, I want to leave so badly. Mainly because when we do cardio, I rely on my nose a lot to breathe. But every breath I'm taking in is actually shit. Every breath I'm taking in smells like so bad. I can't even focus properly. Yeah, like literally outside smells like shit. I think it's because the dump nearby something must be fucked up or sewage. But it still smells so bad. We have to abort. I'm gonna have to abort the stairs. It just smells so bad. I've had to abort the stairs because I want to cover my nose with the I want to cover my nose because it smells just so. I swear we might just end up aborting this entire place again. It just why does it smell so shit? Man, does it smell bad. Like, oh my goodness. Hmm. Dude, dude, I just don't understand why it's so shit. Like, perhaps I'm spoiled, which I am, but no, I have the capability of going somewhere better. Fuck. Hmm. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I can breathe. I can finally breathe. Okay, I need some water. Ah, man, we can finally breathe again. Man, I actually can breathe. This is nice. It's either I'm spoiled, which I am, or it's just that I literally that area is just tainted right now. Yeah, it is. The area with the old gym is straight up tainted right now. There's actually no way you could breathe in there. So yeah, pretty much at the old place, the old gym we went to, outside of the gym itself already smells like terrible, like really really bad. Like you wouldn't last 3 minutes standing outside just existing, right? The sewage slash rubbish smell outside is so bad. And inside the gym, it's, well, you can't really do much about it because, yeah, inside the gym it still smells really bad. It's not as bad as outside, but it's still really, really bad. So, decided to just come back here. Plus, we're alone here, and also, it smells nice. Also, someone was here just before, but by the time I arrived, they left. Now, this place, when it comes to, hold on, can I walk? Can I climb the stairs backwards, or is that a stupid idea? No, that's a dumb idea. I just wanted to have a look at what we have behind us. This place is good for chest. This place is good for, no. Legs is good at home base. Legs is okay here, but it's not like what we usually do. Shoulders can be done here. Shoulders and chest. And arms. And also back to a degree. And dips. Okay, and then when it comes to the palms, that place can't do chest. That place can do legs. Can't do chest. It can, yeah. All I know is that the palms cannot do chest. No way. It can't do chest, but it can basically do everything else. No, it's not the best at legs. Uh, it's okay for shoulders. This place is okay for arms. Matter of fact, to be honest, both locations can do their thing, right? But when it comes to chest, this spot is number one. When it comes to legs, this place is pretty debate. Okay. When it comes to chest, this place. When it comes to legs, both places. When it comes to shoulders, this place. When it comes to arms, probably this place. When it comes to back, this place. Looks like this place is the winner. Yeah. Now when it comes to recovery though, I don't think the saunas work here. Maybe they do. It seems like this place here might be the winner. By a long shot. Only thing this place can't do is legs. It seems like both premium spots cannot do legs. Well, no, they can do legs, but they can't do any glutes. So both places can't do glutes. Both places can't do glutes, but they can do a normal. They can do a normal leg day. That's okay, because we still do glutes at Alpha 3 regime. Well, anyways, we can't really go back to the home HP. No, we can't really go back to the home gym until, you know, until that shit is cleared. The fact that it just, nah. We won't be able to be there for a while. So when it comes to back tomorrow, we're gonna come here. Yeah, because at the Palms, we can't really do back. Well, no, technically we can. Well, no, technically at the Palms we can actually just do everything. We just go to the normal area. The Palms small area doesn't have everything, but you are still in the normal area. And Golden Hour there is not really sure how. No, Golden Hour there is not very good, but it's really large. And it's got like 4 stair machines too. So honestly, the Palms is not the bad spot to go. Even if we don't use the luxury area. No, if we don't use luxury area, we can still go there. It just may be a bit more people, but it's all good. This spot here is good for like this place is good for golden, like diamond chest. Yeah. This place is a very good place for diamond chest. And probably arms and shoulders. Yeah. So chest, shoulders, and arms. This place here is diamond hour permanently, almost. If we want to do legs, but we can't go to home gym, we're gonna have to go legs at the Palms. And I'm assuming the Palms also has back, but it's only because the normal area has what we want. Actually, no, this spot here can do arms. No, correction, this spot here can do back quite well. The only thing we'll be missing out is the goat. And that's it. The only thing we would miss out on here is the goat for back. The landmine row. Yeah, there's no landmine row here. It is what it is. So yeah, it seems like the Palms is good for. Actually, no, home base is the best. But right now, home base is disabled because it's too toxic to be in. So unfortunately, we just have to adapt. It is what it is, you know? Home gym's toxic. Gotta just find and adapt and choose the next optimal route. And it seems like the Palms is probably the most optimal. Of course, home base has got the really nice glute machine, but at what cost? But yeah, the moment the home gym starts smelling like shit, we'll obviously return. Because that one seems like the most optimum. Unless you're really trying to get the infrared sauna. Is there anything else to talk about? Not really. We still don't really know the pattern recognition in this spot. Still don't know the pattern recognition. It's like random, so yeah. Again, when we came here, someone left, but it doesn't really matter because we'll be doing cardio first. Similar to home base. I mean, as much as I like landmine row, I'll see how it goes. But what I do know is that golden hour at the Palms doesn't look like it exists. It's only diamond hour in the premium spot. This place is good for dips. Not only dips, we could probably do the sauna. I need to test that if we actually can turn on these saunas without staff. I think you can, because I learned how to do it at the Palms. Because it takes time to preheat. It takes a long time to preheat. But I think it's because when it's busier, since people have been using it for hours long, it preheats. It's already preheated. Those things probably run all day. The moment it gets busy, yeah, they probably do. Is there anything else to talk about? Well, yeah, there is something to talk about, but I'll talk about it soon, not now. Yeah, damn, that soccer player on TV literally looks like a dude. I think that's what they call a tomboy. The soccer players have their hair cut like a dude, and it's Asian. I'll pass. At least we can breathe and talk, you know? We are still alone. Okay, stairs are complete. Obviously, it wasn't fully the maximum, right? but that's okay because, you know, we did have to leave periodically from home base. And these wet wipes are OP, can clean multiple machines. I am kind of curious if we can start preheating these. Because if these don't preheat, then the dips will be a lot better at the palms. I think these are already on. Let me see. Okay, it's concluded that this spot here cannot is not good for dips anymore. Reason is because the saunas here don't actually work without staff. I think it's because to turn it on, you have to use a stool and climb over the wall and turn on the switch. Yeah, yeah, you need to like. I think they use a step ladder to turn it on. It is what it is. It does look like that though. I saw it from the stairs. From the stairs with the elevator height, you can see that the saunas can only be turned on when you reach the wall plug. And the only way to reach those wall plugs for us is to use a step ladder, and we don't have one, so it's all good. So if we want to do sauna, then the palms is probably the way to go. Yeah, seems like palms is the go for recovery wise. But yeah, I mean it's kind of just what is it? What do you call it? What do you call it? It's no light without dark. No light without dark. At the end of the day, it really is just no light without dark. You have some benefits, you have some non-benefits. You know, no light without dark. So this part here, extra machines, Smith machines, good. It's got the back, it's got the back cables, good. You know, good. But the sauna, no sauna, right? But when it comes to the palms, it's got the sauna. So overall, it's just benefits and non-benefits, you know. But when do we ever want to use the sauna? Maybe I'm not sure how regular we should use the sauna. But I definitely got bored yesterday. But that's because we didn't have it preheated. Also, in this part here, it literally says please do not turn off. So that means that once it's on in the morning, they have it on all day. So when the staff comes, they turn on the saunas and they have it running 24/7. So that's why it can be nice and hot really fast. So it's pretty interesting, huh? I mean, yeah, still we're alone here, so we can talk about anything we want. But I'll talk soon, not now. Shut up. Hmm, it's pretty silent today. All right, well, we got some choices here. We can do the cables, but I feel like we've done the tricep cables for like 2 times in a row now. So I'm thinking we just do the bench press cable. No, bench press triceps. I mean, it's a Smith machine, but like, what's the difference, right? I prefer. I like the Smith machine anyways. Just gotta find the right architecture. To it looks like someone who did this previously isn't a very good architect. No, it's okay. I got it. Don't worry. I've got it. There we go. And then we're not that wet, so it's not too bad. We're not too wet, but we're wet. Yuck. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be alright. Yep. Close grip for triceps. Yep. Lightweight, close, lightweight, and close grips for triceps. Matter of fact, it's actually the Smith machine for the tricep push up. No, for the tricep bench press. The Smith machine might be actually better than the the normal one. So clean, dude. I can't get over how clean this thing is. You know what? That's actually pretty good. That is actually really nice. Maybe a bit more weight, and then that's actually really, really good. That's actually better than the normal bench. The normal bench tricep. That's actually way better. It's like really controlled. Like really, really controlled. Just a bit more weight, and then this is actually really nice. Doesn't look like. I think in from from pattern recognition, in 15 minutes or so, another person comes. He did greet me. He said, "Hey, hey, brother." I go, "Oh, hi." Hopefully, I don't really make friends at the gym. Don't really like to because I'm so random. Don't rely on me. I don't really make friends at the gym. Never really. I mean, I go to this time of the day for a reason. Duh. I don't know. How spoiled are we gonna be? How spoiled are we gonna be? I don't know really. It really depends. But at the same time, it really just depends on how long that place is gonna smell like shit for. But the fact that it's not going away anytime soon means that we might be spending the next month campaigning over here instead, rather than going to HQ. But it's not bad because it's like the change every now and then. It's not like the worst. It's not even bad. Sometimes the change is good. You know what I mean? Has it already been 40 minutes? What? 20 minutes stairs, 10-minute stretch, something like that. I see. Right, this the Smith machine with the bench is actually really good. Like, there, that's really good. Yes, I don't really mind. I don't really mind variation. It's kind of nice to a time. Also, I think it's finally time to announce Cooked Earth is complete. I know, amazing. The Cooked Earth series has come to an end. Surprisingly not, it's actually come to an end. Yesterday, I believe, was the final episode because, frankly, we kind of did what we wanted. You know, we pretty much just won. We got the wyverns. We got the wyverns. Yeah, so I think Cooked Earth is pretty much complete. We're done. It's like I think the last two episodes was like really the final kind of gameplay, right? Eliminate the other wyvern with the turrets. And in the last episode, we basically got really confident, really, really confident, like so confident that Lamb died, but confident enough that we fly around with wyverns, place down turrets, have a bunch of ammo, just place down turrets generator and kill them. And done. Like we literally hunted two more alpha wyverns with these, like so easy. We just hunted the last two alpha wyverns easily. You know, if we ever want to revisit the Cooked Death series, we know what to do. We just craft more bullets and stuff. It's as simple as that. Of course, we never got the Mantis, and we never seen the Phoenix, but like I can't even deal with the heat. So yeah, Cooked Death series is complete. It was like 15 episodes, right? 15 episodes, and let's see, calculator. 15 episodes, and each episode was nearly around 3 hours. So we let spend like 45 arc days on the series. So not bad, not bad, not bad. But yeah, Cooked Earth is complete. Can't believe it. I was pretty surprised. Actually, matter of fact, the stream was like the most. It had the most views, but no one was talking. So I don't know how. I guess people just liked seeing in-game stuff. But the next map is Aberration. Can't wait. I wonder what's another name for aberration. I don't know. I think I'll just call it aberration. Gonna try a different method. Oh, and Scum's Wish. Oh, yeah, Scum's Wish yesterday was definitely interesting. I'll be like I'll admit this like now, but like literally yesterday and okay, I can't really say yesterday because Scum's Wish uploads earlier than Earth Logs, right? So you're just gonna have to keep up with the law if you really care. But like, dude, Scum's Wish Day 3, I literally, no joke, like I'm a keep it real. Your boy literally nearly cried. I was like super emotional. Like at one of the scenes, I was like super emotional, bro. My voice changed and everything. I'm gonna be real, straight up, nearly cried. But not crying, but like tears nearly ran down my face, but I did not cry. So tears simmered up in my eyes, but I did not. Cry. You know what I mean, right? The act of crying is not real, but it did shimmer. Unshed. Is that what they call it? Unshed tears. It's pretty emotional. I think in Scum's Wish Day 3 we've learned that Hana is really just a victim. Really just a victim in a cruel world. And her brother or her crush is like fucked up, you know? It is what it is. So yeah. So Scum's Wish Day 3 is done. And then what else is there? Aberration's gonna be today as well. And that should be about it. Again, the Smith machine for the triceps are pretty base. Looks like Diamond Hour is up. Huh. Okay, so Diamond Hour is over, but at the same time it's kind of like, you know, they're in the tread they're on the they're on the treadmill, so can't hear us. Plus they're wearing headphones. The gym music's gone, but yeah. So it seems like Diamond Hour is over. Diamond Hour is over. We've translated into Golden Hour. So again, not bad. Not really worried. It's not as bad as the first on Monday, because Monday the proximity and the music was gone. So it looks like the music's gone again, but it's okay because this Golden Hour is a lot better than the previous Golden Hour. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm not sure if we should go in order or we should go around. Actually, you know, I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna collect the rest of the maps on the on a. I'm gonna yeah, that's a good idea. What we're gonna do instead of going straight to aberration is we're gonna go make a spin wheel for all remaining maps and spin. Yep, we're gonna do that. We're gonna see what kind of map we got. Scorch Drift's complete. Only took 50 days. I swear we spent the majority of the time grinding for the turrets and stuff, but you know, it was about the journey, not the destination. Of course, the series is not completely over. It's just I'm bored, so trying to find something new to do. We're like straight up in Scorched, when in Cooked Earth, we're bored, we're done. You know, killed all the wyverns, stole some eggs, hatched our own wyverns. You know, now what? It's still too hot all the time. Okay, triceps complete. Triceps are complete. Let's quickly put these away properly. Oh no, triceps aren't complete. Just this one thing's complete. We're now going to move on to the next one. All I know is that this place is, when the music's cut off, the music's cut off for a long time. Not music's back. Again, this place here is not bad, considering that, how do you say it? I mean, this place is not bad. It's just, hold on. We need to find a spot to, I need to find a spot to move this tricep thing. I'm gonna move it over, I'm gonna move it here. This spot here looks pretty empty, so we'll move over here. I'll move that thing all the way to the corner. We still gotta finish the water and everything. But yeah, so it's golden hour right now. Again, it's not even bad. Really complain. Everything's chill. And of course, arm day takes the longest. But also because we did kind of have we had a slight delay because we had to retreat. We had to, yeah, we have a slight delay in the timing because we had to retreat a tiny bit. We did have to retreat a tiny bit. But it's no problem because it just home base just smelt so bad. It just smelt so bad. Okay, cool. There we go. Okay, dumbbells here are not as clean as the other ones, but that's okay. This one, the other place is newer. Okay, so now we just do triceps. Pretty simple. We kind of missed. It's alright. No problem. As long as the first initial impact doesn't hit the concrete. I mean, it's concrete, and it's also 12 gauges. Okay, we can go slightly heavier. We gotta drink the water as well. Okay, we gotta drink the water as well, and yeah, should be pretty good to go. So yeah, what is there? Is there anything else to talk about besides what we're doing regularly? Scum's Wish, Cooked Earth. I guess there's nothing else to talk about, huh? Really is nothing to talk about. We don't even have any like topics to talk about. I mean, when was the last time we talked about ecosystems? But I haven't really found the need to talk about ecosystems because we already talked about it multiple times, and it's pretty self-explanatory, right? You know, no light without dark. You know, no light without dark. It is what it is. Yeah, no light without dark. It's just it's just the balance, you know? That's the ecosystem right there, balance. Everything balances out in the end. If they want to get you, they'll get you. You know, it's like it's really basic stuff. You just have to understand it. There's no light without dark. You know, everything's gray, not black and white. Really, it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. And of course, there's things called ecosystems. I make such a weird, serious face when I do that. I see myself in reflection. I'm looking real serious for no reason. Well, no, not for no reason. There is a reason. Yeah, I'll let you have this angle here. There's nothing else to say. Nothing else to talk about. You know what I mean? Just nothing else to talk about. Now, there's no landmine row here, which is unfortunate. But I mean, even though landmine row is the goat, we'll just adapt and we'll just simply. I'll just use one of the machines. It is what it is. No, I thought that. Yeah, but this spot here compared to the palms has got a lot more equipment. The only downside is that the infrared spas cannot work. But it's not like during our actual sessions we even use a spa. That was only a one-time thing for the shoulders. But we don't actually really use infrared spas. We'll definitely revisit it on like Saturday. Well, so these airvlogs are like 2 days in advance. I looked at the schedules. Airvlogs are 2 days in advance, but I guess that's not bad. It seems pretty. It's like just unintentionally, it's just been 2 days in advance. Maybe sometimes one day in advance, but currently it's 2 days in advance. I mean, I don't really mind it, right? Obviously, we can't do it in an exact day because, you know, by the time I edit it, it'll come out in the morning. Technically, we can actually edit. No, we actually can do Earth vlogs like straight up daily. Like it'll be uploaded at like what 7, 9, and then it'll be the exact same day, right? But at the same time, it could expose. It could also expose maybe. Yeah, but they are like around 2 days. Yeah, not throwing it back this time. So what was I saying? Yeah, we could do Earth vlogs daily. I mean, they're currently like 2 days scheduled, so we could. Not gonna lie, we could. But 2 days is also kind of like, you know, like I said, if if I'm gonna do X thing tomorrow, no one will know. So I'm gonna keep it at least 1 to 2 days advance. Can't do it on the same day, just in case. Yeah, because maybe sometimes in the Earth vlogs I say tomorrow I'm gonna be over here, and if you upload at the same time, someone will go, oh, tomorrow he's gonna be there. I mean, it's not really matters because no one's actually Someone could have got me a long time ago because we've been consistently going to home base, but now that we are swapping between here and the Palms, we are now on the move. Random. We are on the move. Is there anything else to say? Not really. We're on 4.5s. There's got to be more content to do. There's got to be more content to do. Yeah, there is more content to do. But right now we could do more content. Right now we've only got two series going on. Can definitely do more series. I can. I just been lazy, honestly. Just been lazy about it. Scum's Wish is already a good new series, and then Arc is definitely going to be a brand new series as well because I always love starting new, starting fresh, creating another story. Yeah, we haven't gone hunting in a while either. Such a such a serious face. Like, jeez. Alright, what about us done? What about us done? Let's go check. Wait. I'll check it later. What we're gonna do is we're going to quickly. What I want to do. We'll check our weight soon. Actually, after the triceps, we gotta set up the Superman. We gotta set up the Superman thing. Okay, I've set up the Superman bicep things, so we'll do that soon. But I set it up. Just set it up over there. I feel like we're light today. I do feel like we're light today. Based on pattern recognition, we might be a bit in danger zone right now. Okay. On based on pattern recognition, we might be in a bit of a shibamble here. I'm gonna still go for it. It looks like we're still in golden hour, but we might have to be a bit careful because there is a potential K. So yeah, Superman biceps. That's about it. I don't know what else there is to say. There's nothing else to talk about. Gotta lower the voice again. It's all good stuff. I think that's the pattern recognition. Because when I came here on Monday, when I left, I did spot like two additional vehicles rolling before I left, and perhaps yeah, it is what it is. I think no, the difference between this place and home base is that now home base when it's golden hour is fine because it's so huge, like it's massive, but when golden hour is example in here or the palms, it's golden hour feels a lot. It's like kind of just it's more of a difference. It's kind of like diamond hour versus where like normal silver hour, right? Kind of because to a degree, since this place is the height wise is shorter and it's more compact or like smaller. Golden hour isn't as good compared. Golden hour isn't as good because people. I don't. You know what I mean, right? I think you know what I'm trying to say. All right, we can go check our weight after this. Yep, that hits the bicep, even though it doesn't look like it. Okay, let's quickly go check our weight and see what we're dealing with. 68.95. So basically 69. So yeah, This week so far, we've just been ranging between 69 to 70. That's really about it. 69 to 70 is what we're dealing with. Yeah, that's basically it. 69 to 70 is what we're dealing with. That's what we're ranging around. That's what we've been ranging around for the last week. We haven't actually seen 71 kgs in a while. Nor have we seen anything below 67. Yeah, we're going to swap towards that later. Is there anything else to say? Not really. And nothing else really left to talk about. Oh yeah, no. I was going to say we should do more series, huh? Yeah, we should. We actually have only been playing Ark Survival, by the way. We haven't actually played any other games. I was thinking about playing Rust, but the problem with that is that my PC can't hold that many games because Ark already holds so much. Ark already holds like I think nearly 300 to 400 gigabytes, but I also need space to record. I need space to record like like another 100 to 200 gigabytes to record. I could always use the SSD to export the RAM. But yeah, I think we might need a bigger SSD on the PC. Kind of. We haven't actually played any other games besides Cooked Earth. No, correction. We haven't played any other games besides Ark. I think that is where we might come in with. Might have to re. Might have to bring back the consoles from the Gulag. But again, the Ark's got like the best story game. We can't really think of any other story game to play. Uh, Not really interested in shooters to a degree. Shooters doesn't really have any kind of story. It's kind of just action, you know. And there's one confusing thing about the car parks in the spot. It's like at the front it says 30 minutes only. But like who spends 30 minutes at the gym? Actually, that's kind of a lie considering that we only spent like 10 minutes at the first gym. But that was because of certain circumstances. Is there anything else to say? Not really. There really ain't much else to say. Yeah, need more series. I think we need like a third series. Well, technically the third series was additional stories for Earthload, like reaction stories, which is like nearly an hour, depend an hour to 30 minutes extra. Cooked Earth, nearly. We do around 2 to 3 hours. Then Scum's Wish we can do 1 to 2 hours. So that's already 4 hours, 5 hours. I can definitely do a whole bunch more. What else would I do? Also talking, I could talk for a long time. What? I mean, do we want to play another video game? What kind of story can we do with video games? Can't do Rust. Can't do Rust. What other video games are there? We tried Repo a long time ago. But Repo sucks. We could also do RVD yet. Actually, I kind of gave up on RVD yet. Straight up, we did the bridge thing and then I just quit. I don't. I could check the consoles. Consoles might have good games, but I think that console era had no good games. We could do like 1 hour of action, maybe. 1 hour of we technically could do 1 hour of action, but I don't know. I don't really do shooter games. League of Legends. You got me messed up if you think I'm doing that. Okay, no shooter games as in Valorant, no Valorant, but like open shooter games like Battlefield or something. It's not bad. What else is there? Not sure. Maybe we can go back to hunting and fishing. Maybe, but that takes up that takes up like half a day because yeah, hunting and fishing takes like Well, technically, if we do go back to hunting and fishing, what happens is that we do it early in the morning because that's when the best time is, and then we do the training for the rest of the. We do the training in the afternoon, so that's why if we want to do hunting and fishing, we'll have to do the alpha regimes in the afternoon, and that kind of takes up the rest of the day. But yeah, because when it comes to hunting and fishing, we can't really do it midday. No, depends. No, not really. Not really. Fishing midday is not really the smartest because the fish ain't there. The fish are either in the early morning or near sunset. But sunset is like literally now in today's current time. Sunset is literally like 8 to 9 o'clock, or 20 to 2100, and that's when we basically knock out anyway. So we could really only fish in the early mornings, and then I just train for the rest of the day. I just realized something. The bathroom doors there, the bathroom doors here, bro. You could, if you're not careful, someone could slam you. Not gonna lie, even though it's golden hour, it feels like silver hour. Yeah, I think when it comes to these places, yeah, it's the difference between diamond hour and silver hour. There's not really any golden hour. Right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it again. I know today was a bit kind of scuffed for the first 10 minutes. A bit scuffed for the 10 minutes because we had to abort the shit stinking smell, but it's okay. Right, so tomorrow we are probably going to be. Where do we go tomorrow? We're probably going to go explore. I'm not exactly.
Yo, what's good? Hello everyone, welcome. It's another normal stream now. No straight up cooked earth straight away. We've finished it. So today we're gonna be doing, normal streaming things, So I guess the first segment today is we're gonna be doing maybe 12 minutes, maybe 2 stories of Mr. Nightmare. He's got a new video up, so we gotta do a reaction on that, alright? So we're gonna do maybe 2 stories of this, and then what I'm thinking is probably a new arc series. So I've got the wheel to spin, and we're gonna do that later. But right now, let's do this. All right, 3 genuinely scary, true horror stories. All right. First story. Let's go. We know the drill. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Story 1. Let's go. Volume's okay. Volume's okay.
My dream
Good.
was always to get my own place ever since I was in high school. I really couldn't wait to move out because I hated my dad growing up and my mom wasn't much better. We would always buck heads and my dad would always be drunk on the weekends. And honestly, it was just a mess. As I got older and girls obviously became a factor, it became even more of a problem because there was no way I'd bring any girls back to that household. So because of all of this, I took the first chance I could get and moved out when I was 19 in college.
Okay.
I didn't go away to school. I went to a commuter
So a 19-year-old male moved out of his parents' house. Got it.
college not far
Damn, why does my webcam look so bright this time? My webcam looking different today, I ain't gonna lie. It's because my face isn't red. My face will get red later on, but right now when my face isn't red, I'm like white.
from home. My parents wouldn't pay for me to go away to school. So I was on Zillow, Facebook, and Craigslist every day for a while. And when I finally found a rental that looked promising and affordable, I went to see it right away. The layout is pretty important, so I'll describe it now. As I walked in, I was welcomed with the living room / dining room area, which was one open space. Then there was the kitchen adjacent to that, which was separated by a wall. Then, to get to the single bedroom in the apartment, you went down the hallway, which also had 2 closets. one which I used as a pantry and one as a storage closet, and then the door to the bathroom. At the end of the hall was the bedroom. The bedroom was generously sized. It fit a queen-sized bed easily.
Okay.
It had 2 more closets, and I fit a couple of dressers and a TV in there easily. I was sold immediately, especially because it was budget-friendly. I moved in the next month, and life was fine. Fast forward a few months maybe. I went out with friends in town, and we ran into some girls we knew. I ended up taking this girl home that I'd known for a while through school, but we'd never hung out in that way. I'll just call her Sammy. We ended up drinking at my place and watching a movie, but that was really all we did. She didn't want to take it further than that on our first time hanging out, and I respected that. We ended up in the bedroom finishing the movie that we started in the living room, and I think we both just passed out from being drunk somewhere through the movie. The next thing that happened was I woke up to footsteps outside in the hallway. It was still the middle of the night. I looked to my side, and I was alone in the bed. I jumped out of bed looking down the hallway, and I saw Sammy in the living room grabbing her stuff off the couch, but she was doing so quietly. She was trying to leave now to avoid the awkwardness in the morning, and I understood that. So I didn't say anything and went back to bed quietly. I heard her eventually walk out the front door. For good measure, I called out, "Sammy?" to no response, and that confirmed she was gone. I got comfortable in bed relatively quickly and drifted back off to sleep. It was probably another hour that passed when I woke to something loud. I immediately shot up in my bed and my heart started pounding relatively quickly. I called out, "Sammy?" again. There was no response.
Let's go back real quick.
Loud. Was probably
Let's go back real quick.
To no respectfully walk out the front door. For good.
You heard her walk out the front door, but you didn't check the door if it's locked or not. Like she might have not locked it. GG, someone's in the house. Someone's in the house, 100%. I can see it. Someone's in the house. Yeah. Why would you go back in bed if you know that she unlocked the door? She probably... This is why you need those door deadlocks, right? Door deadlocks. That's why you need these things. Oh, no, not those. What is it called? That's why you need these door deadlocks, bro. Chain. That's why you need one of these. Because if Sammy left the house and you had one of these, you would have to close it anyways. That's why you need one of these. Or like the more advanced one. What is the more advanced one called anyways? I'm gonna get doxed here. Whatever.
Measure. I called out in bed. Hour that passed in my bed, and my heart started pounding relatively quickly. I called out, "Sammy?" again.
She not there, bro?
There was no response. I was honestly kind of scared to get up and check, so I picked up my phone and texted Sammy's number, asking if she was still in my house. I realized that was a little weird to do, but I was actually scared in that moment. I looked at the door, which was still open because I was too lazy to get up and shut it after Sammy left. I was definitely still a little drunk from the shots we were taking in the living room, but I felt like I saw something wrapped around the door frame. My breathing only intensified. I still can't believe I had the balls to do this, but I swiped down on my iPhone to reveal the control panel thing, and I pressed the flashlight button. And with the phone still pointed at the door frame, I realized there were 2 hands wrapped around the door frame.
Yo, that's kind of weird. Who does that?
But as if responding immediately to being revealed, whoever's hands they were tightened and then pulled back out of sight. And the scream I was holding in for those 3 seconds finally came out.
Who holds the door like that?
Mixed with simply screams of dread, I also screamed, get out," over and over. By the time I finally got up, I looked down the hallway, and it looked empty. I flipped on the light immediately. After a few minutes of calming my breathing and just trying to listen for sounds, I built up the courage to check the hallway closets and bathroom, and they were clear.
The front door's wide open.
I then moved to the main living area, and trust me, there weren't any places to hide in there. I held my phone as if it were a gun as I crept to the nearest light switch and turned it on. I felt instantly better when the living space was lit up, but there was still the kitchen. I crept to the opening that led to the kitchen and flicked that light on as well, finally lighting up the entire apartment. There was no one here.
Front door's unlocked.
I looked behind the couch, I looked under the tables, I even checked the floor-level kitchen cabinets. When I realized it was clear, I ran to the front door to lock it. The weird thing, though, was that I never heard the front door close, and yet there was not a single soul except for me in there. I now tried calling Sammy repeatedly until she picked up. When she did, she sounded tired and confused. I asked her if she was just in my house, and she told me she left a while ago because she couldn't sleep. I didn't explain. I just told her my bad. I thought I heard a noise, and then we hung up.
She didn't lock the front door.
I decided to spam call my best friend until he picked up, also sounding tired and confused. I explained everything that just went down, and he said he could tell I was still drunk. His explanation calmed me down, though. He said I was sleep-deprived and still drunk, and I had a mid-wake-up hallucination.
I forgot the front locked door.
It made a little sense, actually, considering I never heard the front door shut. I eventually could laugh it off and apologized for waking him up. I went back to my room, shut and locked the door, and I actually calmed myself down enough to fall asleep. The next morning, I did another search around the apartment, and it was without a doubt clear. So I went on with my day. But at some point, I thought back to that supposed hallucination I had of those hands wrapped around the doorframe the night before. I walked to my room and examined the doorframe, and I think my heart stopped for a moment when I saw obvious fingerprints left in the exact positions the hands I saw in the doorframe had been. I felt dizzy, coming to the realization that it wasn't a hallucination. I took this picture of it, which I still have in my iCloud years later. I resorted to calling my dad for advice, and he more or less called me a buffoon for not locking the door.
Facts.
But as long as nothing was stolen and no one was there
Facts.
anymore.
That's what I said too. Get one of these deadlocks. Not deadlocks. What is it called? Door lock. Door latch lock. Door latch lock? Yeah, these. Or get some kind of lock, bro. The fact that he just left Sammy to, like, Sammy probably didn't even close the door or lock the door. She just left. And you just decided to stay in bed. So obviously someone just came in. Pretty simple lesson here. Just get one of these. Get some security cameras too. Done. Easy. Again though, like, you shouldn't rely on guests to lock the door for you. Because they don't even know how your door works. So, pretty easy. Righty-ho, let's go next story. That was pretty easy.
It as a valuable learning lesson. Honestly, nothing my dad said on that phone call was untrue. That's what sucks. I don't know who the hell came into my apartment that night, and I don't know why they chose to do the literal creepiest thing they could have possibly done. But after my year-long lease was up, I moved on and upgraded apartments and never looked back.
Alright, story 2, let's go. Pretty simple story right now. Pretty easy.
My parents' house never really felt like a parent's house. Not in the normal way, at least. My dad traveled for work constantly, and my mom was always out with friends or staying over my aunt's house, or doing something else where she'd come home late or not at all. I know that sounds kind of messed up, but it was just the reality. It wasn't like they abandoned me or anything.
So I was too busy looking at OBS. My bad. I was too busy looking at OBS. So let me read that real quick. I wasn't paying attention.
Parents' house never...
Story 2. Alright, let's go.
My parents' house never really felt like a parent's house. Not in the normal way, at least.
Okay.
My dad traveled for work constantly,
Dad's
and my
always
mom
traveling?
was always out with friends or staying over my aunt's house,
Okay.
or doing something else where she'd come home late or not at all. I know that sounds kind of messed up, but it was just the reality. It wasn't like they abandoned me or anything. It was more like they were always busy and always somewhere else. So from the time I was like 16 and up, I basically lived alone. I ate dinner alone most nights, I watched TV alone, I'd be the only person in the house for an entire weekend sometimes. I'm an only child, and I think that's because my parents realized after having me how much they valued their own freedom. So in that regard, I did suffer, which is something I feel more now as an adult.
It is what it is.
When I was younger, I used to love it because it felt like freedom having such a big place to myself. I could do whatever I wanted without my parents breathing down my neck, and I didn't have to share it with siblings. I could bring friends over and play games late. I could talk to girls on the phone without being embarrassed.
Bruh.
It felt like having my own home without paying for it.
Okay, and
even when I turned 19 and started going to a nearby college, nothing changed. If anything, it got even more like that. My mom and dad were gone or out more, and I was basically just holding it down at home. I knew every noise that house made too. That part matters because it wasn't one of those houses where every creak freaked you out. It was an older but larger house, and it had its usual sounds. I always just said the damn place had character. So this happened on a night where I knew for a fact I was going to be alone. My dad was out of town for work,
You're 19.
and my mom had been talking all week about how she was staying at my aunt's because they were having some big family thing the next day, and she didn't want to drive back late. I remember her telling me, "It's just you tonight," and I honestly didn't even care. That was normal. I told her that she didn't even have to tell me that. I made food, I watched TV, I did the usual.
Sounds pretty chill.
At around 11, I went upstairs to my room and started watching YouTube videos in bed. Something I do some nights for hours. My room was at the end of the hallway upstairs. At the top of the stairs, you'd have a small landing, and then to the right was my parents' room, and further down the hallway was the bathroom, the linen closet, and then my room at the end. I had my door open because my parents told me to keep doors open at night.
Okay.
More as a staying alert and listening for intruders type of thing. But I also liked hearing the house a little, like background noise. It made the whole being alone thing feel less intense. I eventually started getting tired, so I shut my laptop and just laid there scrolling on my phone.
First said laptop and then showed an image of like the most coolest setup. Okay. What is this room picture, by the way? How the hell does your bed get this messy with clothes laying around? Like, how does it get this messy? If you're gonna use this PC, you're gonna have to move the chair back. Your chair's gonna get stuck in those clothes. So this has to be AI or something. There's no way this is real.
So I'm gonna just say that probably an hour passed from the moment I shut my laptop to when my phone rang. It said no caller ID on the screen.
Don't answer it then.
That was the first time I'd ever received a no caller ID
You're
phone
gonna
call.
pick it up?
I stared at it for a second. To be receiving that late at night was sketchy as hell. I ignored it, but it rang again right after, still saying no caller ID.
Put do not disturb on.
That's what made me answer.
Bro.
I figured if it was someone important, they would call twice. Plus, it's just a phone call. Worst case scenario, I hang up. So I picked up, and at first, there was no noise. I got nervous that it was one of those scam calls that calls to see if a number is active to add it to some call center database. But then I started hearing something faint, and it took my brain a second to process what it even was. It sounded like a TV playing in the background, and what was weird was that I could also faintly hear my own TV downstairs through the door, because earlier I guess I left it on in the living room. I didn't have it on loud, just on low volume as background noise, so hearing TV audio on the phone instantly made my stomach tighten. I said hello a second time, to once again no response.
Just hang up.
Just the TV sound, like whoever was on the other end wasn't even trying to speak. It was just there.
Just hang up.
Then I realized something that made me sit up in bed instantly. The TV noise I was hearing through the phone wasn't random. It matched my TV downstairs, like perfectly. It wasn't delayed. It was the exact same audio at the exact same moments, like it was synced.
Okay, hang up.
That's
Run
when I got
downstairs.
this cold feeling down my spine, because there's only one way that makes sense. That would mean whoever was on the phone could hear my TV in real time, as in, they were inside my house downstairs. I tried to force a normal explanation, like it was a friend standing outside one of my windows downstairs trying to trick me. Or maybe the call was somehow glitching and picking up on my microphone audio. That can happen, but the more I listened, the more I realized that didn't make sense. It sounded like someone was calling me while standing somewhere in my living room. I got up and walked to my bedroom door and listened. And oh yeah, I was 1,000,000% sure now that the audio on the phone was syncing to the TV. In hindsight, this was dumb, but I screamed out, "Who's down there?" because in the back of my mind, I thought for sure I knew it was a friend or family member pulling something.
Let me guess, the line.
And then, the line went dead.
Oh, GG.
They hung up. By this point, my mouth went completely dry.
Oh, he's dead.
I couldn't even call the number back because it was an anonymous call. I walked out into the hallway towards the stairs, and I looked down. I still heard the TV on in the living room, and then a creak.
Someone's
It
there.
sounded like the wood floor cracking from the pressure of a person, but if that didn't confirm things, the moment I heard someone clearing their throat downstairs, That's when everything instantly became 10 times more
Hey,
real.
what are you doing down there?
I could no longer lean on the glitching phone theory, even though deep down I already knew that was BS anyway. I went to my room and quietly closed and locked the door. What if my dad was testing me, seeing how I'd react in a home intrusion situation?
He
Or
failed.
maybe my Uncle T. So I called my dad, but he didn't pick up. He may have already been asleep. It was like 11:30. So I called again and again, but no luck. I tried my luck with Uncle T.
What you do is you say you've got a gun. Hey, I've got a gun. Come up here. Come here. Bluff them. If they come up here, you're dead, but it is what it is, you know, at least you try. You know, the most dangerous... No, when you're home invading someone, the most dangerous thing is the person inside. Because like I said in previous horror stories, the most dangerous thing is another human. And what's worse is if you're a robber, or like if you're like if you're a house invader, if you're a home invader, the worst thing you can run into is another psychopath, like another crazy guy than you. So like straight up, if you just start screaming like a psycho and make yourself look crazy, or like make yourself sound crazy, dude, that guy's running out. He's just trying to steal something. He's just trying to steal your stuff. You know what I mean? He's trying to steal your stuff. He ain't trying to. I mean, maybe he's got a gun and stuff, right? But like, still, like, you know, you've got the advantage. You know, hey, you know, hide behind the you know, hallway. Hey, come up here, boink, something like that. I don't know. Just bluff you got a gun, or go crazy.
And he picked up on the second ring. I could tell he was in bed. He asked why I was calling, and I prefaced the phone call telling him this might sound crazy, and then dropped the bomb and asked if he was downstairs. I remember vividly his exact response and tone as he said, "Steve, what the hell are you talking about?" When I elaborated, he told me that's definitely something his brother would do, his brother aka my dad. While we were on the phone, my phone started vibrating. I looked at the screen, and it was the no caller ID on the screen again. I begged my Uncle T to stay on the line real quick. I was putting him on hold as I picked up. He said okay, so I picked up the other call. As I said hello, there was the same silence. This time, I didn't hear the TV sounds on the other end. What did that mean? It seemed they had the phone on speaker because I could hear their footsteps. They were moving, and the footsteps were matching the footsteps I suddenly started hearing outside of my bedroom.
Bro, who's doing this?
I prayed with all my heart this was my dad messing with me. Then, my doorknob jiggled, and whoever was on the other side tried pushing the door. Thank God it was an old, heavy door with an old, heavy lock. The sound still synced with what I was hearing on the phone. Whoever was on the other side of the door knocked. I had the sudden thought to merge the two calls, and when I did, I yelled into the phone for my Uncle T, saying it's not my dad, get here now. I also yelled that whoever was in the house was also on the phone with us. My uncle seemed to wake up from this, and he started yelling into the phone things like, "I'm coming, you cocksucker." The no-caller ID caller hung up the phone, and I heard footsteps move away from the door.
Yo, W Uncle, man.
This all but confirmed it was in fact not my dad. My uncle told me to stay in the bedroom. He was on his way. I wasn't a little kid, but I wasn't some big brolic man either. I was some skinny 19-year-old.
Bruh.
My uncle knew I was in danger. He started heading over to the house. We lived in the same town at the time, but that 7 minutes he took to get to the house was the longest 5 years I'd ever experienced. I heard the familiar voice of my uncle screaming downstairs finally, so I rushed out of the room and downstairs. Having him there made everything feel better. We called the cops together while searching around the house for stolen items.
You didn't call the cops while you waited for your uncle to come? What? Oh my god, whatever.
The TV in the living room was still on. Before the cops got to the house, we found the kitchen window to be fully open enough for someone to crawl through. That info was of course relayed to the police, who, when they got there, did what I imagined to be a standard police search of the premises.
How'd they get your number?
Asking us to lead them around the house, but from behind them. We cleared the whole house, and whoever was in there initially was no longer there. After the cops were done, they asked to see the no-caller ID calls in my recent calls. I showed them, and one of the officers told us that even though it says no-caller ID, sometimes they can still request records and trace it from where it came. They said it could take a few days, but they'd get back to us. My uncle stayed over that night, which made me feel safer.
W uncle,
We kept
man.
every light on like little kids. A few days later, one of the officers called me back surprisingly. The number was traced back to someone I actually knew. It was an old acquaintance from high school. Not a friend or enemy, but someone who had my number and address and such. I hadn't seen him in years. The cops asked if I wanted to come with them while they questioned him, so my uncle and I went since he was there on the scene with me originally. When the guy's dad answered the door and saw the police, he instantly called his son down without question, and I could see it in his son's face that he was nervous. The officer and I asked him straight up if he made those calls. He immediately said no. Then he said his phone had been stolen a few days ago.
Cap.
He claimed he lost it at a party and never got it back. The cop asked why he didn't report it stolen. He just shrugged it off and said he was going to get a new one anyway. The cop told him they'd follow up if needed, and that was basically it. His dad just stood there the whole time watching, but he weirdly didn't say anything. There was no big gotcha moment or arrest or anything. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. The nervous look on his face when he came to the door. Was it a look of guilt, or a natural look anyone would have when being greeted with police on your front doorstep? If it really was a stolen phone, that means someone stole his phone specifically to call me and break into my parents' house. And that's without a doubt scarier than if it was him.
Security cameras, should have called the police earlier, and yeah, security cameras, that's all I can really say about that. Security cameras, but they could also wear a mask. Should have got a gun, weapons, you know? Right? Should we just finish this video? It's only like, what, 6 more minutes? We might as well just finish this video. Why not? Why not? Let's just finish this video and then we'll head straight to Ark and see what we can do about it. Might as
It was
well.
a weekend like so many before. The usual crew was getting ready to meet up at Cody's house to pregame and go out. This was post-college.
Post-college.
We were all 23 to 24 at the time. Cody's house was often the spot to pre- and post-game simply because he had a cool basement where his parents couldn't hear us, but also because his parents were chill.
Okay.
It was just the 4 of us going out to some local bars tonight. Cody, Randy, Jake, and I. When all 4 of us were there, we decided on who was calling the Uber, and once we did, we were out of there. Fast forward a few hours at a bunch of dive bars and then a dance bar, and eventually Cody and I decided to go home. We were tired. Randy and Jake were staying out later. Cody called the Uber back, I think, and he offered me the pull-out couch in the basement when we got to his place. He came downstairs with me to help me set it up, and while down there, we played a game of Madden. Honestly, I've always sucked at Madden, so he destroyed me and I didn't want to play again. I was tired and just wanted to sleep the alcohol
Sounds
off
pretty
before I
normal to
made
me.
the inevitable hangover even worse. Cody went upstairs and shut the door, and I was left alone in the darkness. The only thing that kept that basement from being complete and total blackness were the lights from the cable box clock under the TV, the actual standby light of the TV itself, and a slight green glow from a Heineken mini fridge on the other side of the basement. That mini fridge would also provide some weirdly relaxing white noise that would help me fall asleep.
Sounds pretty chill to me.
So things faded to black as I knocked out like a baby. A drunk baby.
Oh, man.
I woke up and it was still dark. I didn't know what time it was, but I knew it was still late at night. Or super early, whatever you want to call 3 or 4 a.m.
Golden hour.
My mouth was so cotton-mouthed dry I could actually barely move my mouth. I stupidly didn't think to bring down a bottle or a glass of water before going to sleep. After drinking all that alcohol, it was no wonder I woke up. I just really didn't want to get up though. It's a very familiar and relatable conflicting feeling that anyone who's woken up hungover and thirsty has felt.
Can't relate.
I tried to ignore it at first.
Just get up.
I rolled over to get a look at the Heineken fridge to see if anything was in there, but it was just alcohol.
Drink that then.
And then, for whatever reason, my eyes darted to the other corner of the room. I felt like my eyes were playing tricks on me at first, but I could swear I was looking at a black mass in the corner of the room. A black mass that I didn't remember seeing there ever before.
Might be your friends.
I tried to wait for my eyes to adjust better to the dark, expecting the black mass to be some coat on a coat rack or something. But the longer I stared, the more I realized it was moving. It was a person. The amount of restraint I had to not scream was insane.
I don't know. This scenario here is pretty hard already because first of all, you're in your friend's house, so you don't know your friend's security, and also you guys are drunk and like that could be your friend. That literally could be your mate. Like that could literally be your mate just chilling there, standing there. I don't know why he's standing there, but like this scenario here is it's hard to it's pretty hard to really relate. It's also pretty hard to control because like first of all, you and your friend are drunk coming from a party. You still got two more boys with you that aren't home yet, and anyone could leave the door unlocked. It's just a mess. Everyone's drunk. Everyone's fucked up. You know what I mean? Pretty hard to really do anything about the situation here, except it is what it is. Can't do much about it. That could be your mate. That couldn't be your mate. Maybe your friends came back from the party drunk, forgot to lock the door. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's just a robber. It is what it is.
I didn't think it was Cody just based on the sheer height of the mass alone. Without panicking, I had to figure out how to get out of there. After a tense couple of minutes, I sat up and fake yawned as if I was stretching, pretending I didn't notice that person in the corner. I then started fake talking to myself, like muttering complaints about not bringing water down here. Anything to give the appearance that I was oblivious and just going to get water, not run away and alert anyone. I got up and walked closer to the stairs, but also closer to the figure in the corner. And perhaps the most tense moment of my life was when I turned to the right to get to the stairs, and I hoped I wasn't grabbed. When I started going up the stairs, I didn't run or anything. I took it slow and normal to not draw suspicion. But when I was about halfway up, I took a curious glance down the stairs, and that black mass was now at the bottom of the stairs, and I can confirm it was a person. I almost tripped as I started to run up the rest of the stairs and slam the basement door shut. I then started running up the stairs to the upper level of the house to Cody's room, where I shook him awake and yelled at him that there's someone in the basement and that he needs to wake up his dad. And during that commotion, I heard a slam from downstairs. And I yelled, "See?" Cody got up, and we went to his parents' room where we woke up his dad, and I told him there's someone in the basement. He got right out of bed without asking questions and ran down both flights of stairs to the basement, noting that the basement door was wide open. And when I mentioned I shut the basement door, Cody's dad yelled at Cody to call the cops, and he did. We also noticed the back door to the house was now open. So when the three of us were done looking through the basement, we all went to the backyard to search. Then the front yard, and then the neighboring yards, all while Cody was still describing what was going on to the 911 operator. I'd say we were searching for 15 minutes before the police finally arrived, and then they did their full search and formally wrote up a report for the incident. By the end of it, there were some neighbors waking up and coming outside asking if everything was okay. By that point, I was sobered up, terrified, and wanted to go home. So as soon as the cops left, I went inside to talk with them for a bit, then I said goodbye and called an Uber home, refusing Cody's offer to drive me home. I worried for them a bit that night, but I was not sleeping in that basement after that. In fact, I never did again. We'd still have pre-games and stuff there, but the feeling in that basement changed for a while after that night, where I'd always glance at that corner of the basement.
Yeah, I mean that scenario you just can't really do much about it. It's not your home. It's not your home and you're drunk. So realistically, it should be your friend's responsibility to check all the doors locked. And yeah, I guess it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it. That was a pretty. I think our dopamine for these stories are getting pretty boring, right? It's just security cameras, doors locked, but then at the same time, it is what it is because they'll bust down your window if they really wanted to get you. Look, if someone wanted to get you, they'll get you regardless. Same as for police, same as for stalkers, same as for anyone. If they really cared, they'll get you. It just matters on how much you care about yourself, But even if you have all the security, top-notch security, if they wanted to get you, they'll get you. End of story. Right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it. I guess we'll start going towards the segment of ARC, right? Alright, I'll see you guys soon. Hold on, I'll be back.